Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast. I'm your host, Knowledge.
And I'm Javi. This week has been kind of
It's been a weird week. Last week, we didn't get to do our podcast. Mm-hmm. We're in San Diego.
Yeah.
And we're at a tournament and we're doing a bunch of stuff, which we have a day in the life. We have a day in the life video so you guys can see what we did, but we didn't have time to do our podcast because
me knocked out the whole time.
Yeah, it's just fucking asleep. It was a long trip, but it was fun. But so there's some news from last week and this week that we want to talk about, but some stuff that we just couldn't skip over because it's just like we really want to talk about this shit. Number one, for YouTube's sake, Nintendo yet again, and I know you probably heard people talking about it throughout the week, but Nintendo has been really, for the past couple of years, they've been really Nazis. They've been Nazis about how, like...
That's the best word to describe
it. Like, about people using their game content on YouTube. Like, they don't want people to make any money off of... And, like, I'm talking about gameplay. Like, dude, you can argue cutscenes fine.
It wasn't even... They even took it farther than that, where it was, like, you know, certain streams, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, they just didn't want it... Like, I don't know. I guess they didn't want their game being just shown. They wanted people to buy their game and play it.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I understand that. They have every right to do it, but I just think that they're really archaic in their thinking, and they don't understand the benefit that YouTube has had on a lot of games and how like gaming is exploding right now, and it has been for the past couple of years.
Minecraft?
Yeah, like Minecraft is ground zero, dude, of just exactly the perfect story of what you would want to happen. Is just like you create a game and people start playing it, and because of that other people see it, and then it just becomes...
Yeah, and it's crazy because you know I mean, YouTube helped it a lot, but if it wasn't there, it would have still probably gone in. I mean, because it was word of mouth online and stuff.
Yeah,
but it was, I think what really did it was people just playing it on YouTube and Twitch or whatever.
Yeah,
or wherever they were playing it, they just played it, and it was just like so many people started watching it, and so many people just wanted to get into it.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree with you. I think it would have been a success either way, just because it's a good game, period. But yeah, it's the sort of success that it's had, I think, is really like magnified because of YouTube. But anyways, so Nintendo has made this partner program for YouTubers. So before, maybe like I think about 2.5 years ago, they did like an entire YouTube sweep where everybody, no matter what, if you had gameplay cutscenes, no matter what it was, your video was claimed by Nintendo, and they got so much backlash because of it, they backed off for another 1.5 years. You know, so basically they didn't want you to make any money off their videos, and then they ended up kind of backing off because they got so much backlash for it. But now they're coming back again. So the whole partner program is this. They're gonna allow you to use Nintendo footage,
which was like, finally sounds good.
Yeah,
right?
You're like, oh, okay, let's go Nintendo. But they're gonna take a percentage of what you make. If I'm not mistaken, it's 30% of what you make. And if you do YouTube, you'll understand that that's a lot, because you already get so much money taken away. From the get-go, like you get, Google takes 45-50% off rip, like no matter, even if you're just with Google, or even if you're with a like bigger network like Machinima or Fullscreen or something, doesn't matter. Google will take 45% of your money off rip, you know. And that sounds, people are like, then why don't you just partner with Google? Why would you partner with Machinima? Well, the difference is that Google gets, like, their ads aren't as good. They're just kind of like any ads they get, they put it on there. Whereas Machinima or Fullscreen or Maker Studios,
they make more money.
Yeah, they get more money. They get more money because they have a whole team of people looking for premium ads. So they end up getting higher commercials, and in the end, you'll probably either make the same or a little bit more, plus some perks. I mean, it's not as it used to be. It was better before to be in a network, but whatever. Regardless of the point is, you get a lot of money taken away. So let's say, for example, that you're partnered with Machinima. Okay, so for example, let's say you made $10,000. Let's say your channel made $10,000. Off rip, boom, Google 45%. Let's say, so that means they took $4,500. You have $5,500 left. From there, Machinima takes their cut, And it's different depending on what kind of contract you have. Standard for most networks is like 40%. So out of the 5,500, they're gonna take 40%, which comes out to somewhere like maybe like $2,000. So you're left with 3,500 from there, right? So your channel now has generated 10,000, and all you're left with is $3,500 right there. Okay, so you're like, oh, that's still good. It's still good. But now Nintendo's like, we want 30% of what you made, you know, out of 3,500.
So they get the 35% of that, right? Because when I first read it, I was like, I thought they were getting the 35 of the partnered one. Like, you know, like after Google takes theirs, I thought they were still getting a cut from that. I was like, God damn, that's gonna be a huge cut.
That's unclear to me. It's still, it doesn't say. But the whole thing is, I don't see Machinima, I don't see Full Screen and them allowing that. I don't see how they're gonna lose their cut if they partnered you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So ice cream truck again. two podcasts in a row. We're good. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the ice cream truck is coming by. This is that time of night. So yeah, they're gonna get 35%. Or 30% or whatever, and I don't see Machinima or any of the other networks losing their cut, because if they did, I know that they would probably take them to court because they can, you know, because that's a big deal. And so that means you'll probably, so let's say it's this way I'm saying, you'll be left with maybe like $2,200 out of 10,000, you know. So you did all the work, well, not all the work because you didn't find the ads or whatnot, but still you did the video, and then you only get in total like 22% of what it made. So that kind of sucks. Like
yeah,
that sucks a lot. And no other the thing is, this is not a precedent. Like no other company does this.
No other developer, no other like Microsoft, Sony, like none of them do it.
Yeah, and on top of that, Nintendo. So you're gonna have to submit your video. So they have to review your video and approve of it. So what if you do a video where you say, man, this game fucking sucks? Like, do you think Nintendo... Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric or whatever.
I guess that's all platforms or whatever. Something like that. Yeah, it definitely seems like they can easily censor it.
Yeah, they can censor you.
Granted, we don't know what... I mean, maybe they won't, but there is a good chance they will. Especially for smaller networks.
Yeah, like
smaller channels.
Yeah, if it's like somebody with like 400 or 500 subs, like they don't give a shit. They're just like, what are you gonna do to me? You know, they don't care about the little people.
Yeah.
So you're basically just becoming a propaganda machine for Nintendo. Like, oh, this game is amazing, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric or whatever. That game sucks. I haven't even played it.
But technically it's not Nintendo. It's Sega, whatever. But just games like that, like I don't know. And then it's just the whole fact that you have to wait because it's not like immediate either.
That's the thing too. I mean, with YouTube, obviously, when the new game comes out, it's important to get it out early because people want to watch it in the first couple of days. Unless you're established already, where people really just want to watch you because of your personality. Which is the dream, but I mean, most people when you're starting off, you're not, you know, you're trying to get fans, but you're kind of drawing people in because of what game it is. Like, people are just information junkies, and if they like Dying Light, for example, they just want to watch a bunch of videos about Dying Light or Battlefield Hardline, whatever the game is, you know, it doesn't matter who it is, they just want that information from somewhere, and then if they like you, then that's how you can start bringing in fans. But with this way, with Nintendo, you're not gonna be able to post it until like 3 or 4 days later.
And I'm sure some of the bigger names are gonna have priority over others.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure if it was like PewDiePie, he'd be like, they have him on Insta, you know. But and then the last thing in the partner program is that they'll whitelist some channels, so like you can apply to be like a trusted partner, where you don't have to go through the review process, but in order to be whitelisted, your channel has to be 100% dedicated to Nintendo products and whatnot. You can't do like Microsoft or Sony games or anything like that, or any third-party games that Nintendo doesn't have.
That's crazy.
So it's like, what? And I don't know, to me it's sad because, you know, actually bought a Wii U, excited to do, you know, now it was like a couple months ago we got it, but
yeah, we got it around the time of
Mario Kart.
Oh no, we got it way after Mario Kart. We got it like for Bayonetta, I think.
No, well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. We got it like a few weeks before Bayonetta came out.
Maybe.
Oh no, I'm sorry, it was for Hyrule.
Hyrule Warrior?
Yeah, remember that's the first one we did.
Yeah, I don't know, but we got it to play Nintendo games, and we played. We did like a little Mario Kart video that we thought was funny. We did Bayonetta 2. We did Hyrule Warriors.
And we've been playing a lot of Smash.
Yeah, Smash. Like I would have been happy doing like the new Zelda. Whenever, you know, I'm happy to do Nintendo games, but now with this, it's like I'm staying clear away from it.
And I think like the worst thing is like, because it seems like it's been seeming like Nintendo's kind of like starting to like understand. It seemed that way, you know. They before this they're gonna like help sponsor some tournaments,
yeah,
stuff like that. And this, like I said, before I even knew what it actually was, I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna like start helping out, you know what I mean, something along those lines.
Yeah. But
it's more like, no, they just trying to be a middleman now.
Yeah, they just want more money.
So I mean, which is, you know, everyone wants their money, you know, but it was just like, okay, so maybe they're just trying to do this kind of like just for that. They're not trying to necessarily help.
Yeah. They're
more just trying to make their money, which is, you know, what they're supposed to be doing, I guess.
But it's just sad to me because that's what they're trying to do, but it's in the end it's hurting them.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I mean, that's exactly what I mean. Like, I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but at the same time, it's like, okay, that's not necessarily good for you guys. Especially your record, right? Like your track record right now, which has been amazing, except for like these blemishes that they keep just throwing on there.
And don't get me wrong, like I know for a fact we'll keep playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I'll buy Zelda whenever it comes. I love Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but it just it sucks because I want more people to love Nintendo, and I hate that I live in a time now where
Nintendo is only for kids.
Yeah, and it's just a joke to people. People are, you know, like teenagers growing up are like, oh, Nintendo, blah blah blah, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? You don't know what you're missing out on. Like it. But this is the information age, and like people want free information, but right. in the end, it will help you out. Like I was reading an article a couple of months ago about, I forgot what the year was. I think it was like 1999, and they said 2 major encyclopedias launched. One was corporately backed. It was called Microsoft. It's from Microsoft Encarta. If you guys remember that was like they're gonna be the biggest encyclopedia in the whole world, completely backed by corporations and money, and they put the best writers and everything like that, and it was just gonna take over, like just like Microsoft Word was like the you know, word processing thing. Like this was gonna be the encyclopedia thing. That same year, this fan-made people, like just people run Wikipedia was created, and like you look at it now, Encarta doesn't even exist anymore. And Wikipedia is run completely by the people, by just free information flow. But don't get it twisted. Don't think that they don't make money, because they get donations.
Yeah, they're always asking for donations now.
Yeah, they do, and like I know they make money. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, is like this is a different time. Like it's just, you gotta adapt with the times and roll with the punches.
Yeah, and even they're having to adapt, because I think they don't have ads. But I know that they're kind of like not necessarily begging for donations, but they're asking for them a lot more right now.
Well, I mean, I see it every now and again. I mean, like I've seen it for the past couple of years where they'll give you the little like, we're free. We don't want to show any ads. We'll never show ads. But in order for that to happen, we need you guys to donate. And like, I don't know the money behind it, but I don't mistake that for desperation for money. Okay. I just take it as like standard business for them, because I see it consistently every couple of months.
That is true, I guess, because like for a long time I didn't even know they that's how they got a lot of their money.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like, I just assumed that they were just printing money over there, you know.
Like I said, we live in an information and media age. Same thing with the web browser. You know, how long have they been pushing Internet Explorer on us, and nobody uses that shit, and everybody uses a Windows computer, but nobody wants to use Windows Explorer. The second most successful web browser on earth, Firefox, is a free open platform that people use. And like you figure like, okay, it's free, how do they make money? And of course, because they sell ad space, you know, and that's just what the media age is. And it's the same thing, dude. These are multi-million, billion-dollar company. Same thing with Facebook when it started, you know, like all this stuff is like that's how you do it for free. Some of them incorporate ads. Wikipedia doesn't want to. I can see why they wouldn't want to. I wouldn't mind if they had ads. I wouldn't care. You know, I love Wikipedia. I can be on Wikipedia forever.
Right.
And that's the whole point. It's kind of like they're living in the 90s and not the new millennium. And like Nintendo is still bitter that they lost like to fucking Sega. Like, you know.
Yeah, and it's sad because like how many views do these people get? Like,
right, that's exactly, like, they're not gonna make any money off these people. I mean, I guess it'll add up with all, you know, but still they're probably gonna make maybe like $10,000 over a month out of all these people, you
right? Because how many, like, there's so many people that are probably gonna back away from it.
Yeah.
But there's so many people that they just get millions of views for a game they're playing for free. How many? I mean, like, I don't know how many people buy it directly because of the game.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how many fucking commercials they, you know, that they spend millions of dollars on. I actually like, oh, that commercial's what made me buy this. Like, I can't think of it, but they definitely help enforce it.
Dude, and especially with Nintendo games, because Nintendo games especially don't have stories. A lot of them are just gameplay based.
Amazing
gameplay. And so, like, you need to see what the game plays like before you buy it. You know what I mean? There's other games now, especially with, like, PlayStation and Xbox, where you buy it strictly for the story and you want to see what the story is. You don't even give a fuck what the hell the gameplay is. Last of Us. But now
I'm done with it.
I keep bring it up every podcast that another fucking just to make you fucking go, oh man, yeah, Last of Us, grumpy old men don't love this game. No, but yeah, Nintendo games are like, Mario has no story. Zelda tells the same story over and over and over again. It's an amazing one, but like still like all these games like WarioWare, all these little fun games that they have, it's just gameplay, dude, and it doesn't. There's no story, so people aren't giving anything away. You know, that's the only thing I can understand about them not wanting you to use their gameplay or whatever. It's just cutscenes. I understand that, but other than that doesn't make any sense to me about the gameplay. But anyways, yeah, Nintendo is bringing its partner program to YouTube, and I just think we're gonna see a lot less.
I just want to see I want to know like how they're gonna I'm sure there's gonna be a backlash to it. So I want to know how they're gonna recover from it. Like what they're gonna do to kind of like, you know, alleviate the blow that's gonna happen. I'm sure it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
if it hasn't already.
No, yeah, people are already reacting and just, man, I'm not doing any more Nintendo stuff. But a lot of people weren't anyways, I guess. At the end of the day, like, people who are Nintendo fans are going to continue being Nintendo fans. It's just, they're going to get a lot less new fans.
Yeah.
But last week also, we had some really sad news. This, I couldn't skip over this. I really wanted to talk about this because...
I mean, you've told me that like he was a big inspiration for you. Yeah. In general.
Just because of this one video.
Right.
So Monty Oum, is that how you pronounce his last name?
I have no idea.
I've always pronounced it that way. I feel stupid for not knowing, but like that's how I pronounce it.
Because I've only heard them call him Monty. Like I've never.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't heard many people say his full name.
Yeah. So he, I think he was the lead animation.
He was designer. He was an animator.
He was, but like at Rooster Teeth, he ended up becoming like, I forgot the exact title. It was like the, you know, the lead animation
department,
whatever.
He was the head of the animation.
There you go, like head of the animation department. But he started off on YouTube. He was never really a YouTuber. He just made this one video called Haloid, and it was an amazing video. It was one of those videos, especially if you look at it now, it's still impressive, I think. But if you watched it then, you're just mind blown because you didn't understand how he did this. What he did was he had 3D characters, and he created his whole kind of mini movie of Master Chief. Well, it wasn't Master Chief. It was like it was a Spartan. I mean, people thought it was Master Chief. It was a Spartan fighting against Samus, and it's a epic. It's still like if you look, I guarantee you, if you've never seen it, you still watch it now. Even though the graphics are outdated now, it's still amazing, and he was just an amazing designer. And then after that, Rooster Teeth, who does Red versus Blue.
Yeah, which is a stop motion, or not, it's a machinima.
Machinima, yeah.
But it's like, you know, they use the game and kind of like use the controls that they can to make characters, and that Monty helped them
like
kind of bring it up.
Yeah, because I distinctly remember, because I would watch Red versus Blue every once in a while. It was funny, but then like I think he jumped on season 8. And you started having episodes where you saw like action, and you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? How did they do that?" And I think he completely transformed that show into something different. It was still funny, but then you could still have cool action scenes.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things is like I don't know if he did martial arts. I know he knew it, but like he would like choreograph a lot of the fights and stuff. Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, because it really did look like an action movie that you were watching. He definitely had it like down to a science.
Yeah.
But recently, he passed away. What was it? He was having a surgery.
He was having a surgery, and I guess he had an allergic reaction to whatever it is that they were using during the surgery.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is like, you know, the anesthesia. That's what I'm assuming.
Or the medicine, or
something. But it put him into a coma.
Yeah, and I think like 10 days later he passed away, and it was just, I don't know. We were talking about how you know, people get mad because all of a sudden there's all these like Monty fans, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he was great," and I'm not gonna front about it. Like, I haven't kept up with his career. I saw
Ruby, which is one of his recent shows on Rooster Teeth, which was when I saw it was kind of like the same effect of Haloid.
Yeah,
the first trailer, I was like, "This looks freaking amazing!" It was awesome.
He's just, oh man, I don't know. And get choked up over here. No, but to me personally, it was sad because it was like, I think it was back in like 2007 when I first saw the video, and I hadn't started editing yet, and dude, I'm like nothing compared to this guy. But when I saw it, it was just one of those things. There's certain works of art that just make you so curious about like, how did he do that? Like, how did he animated? I could never imagine anybody doing that other than like a big studio, and he was just one guy in his room who animated this. But he was definitely an inspiration. Like, it was just, for me, I was like, wow, it made me really curious like how he did that. And I could never animate like him. I've hardly done any animation, but it did make me start looking into editing to do, like, I want to do something cool.
Yeah,
like something.
I mean, you've done 3D stuff, not animated, but nothing like.
Yeah,
but at least you kind of like.
Yeah.
You just want to take a little dip into it.
Yeah. Just I dipped into it, but more so I did get it a lot into editing, and a lot of it had to do with just that one video, and like ever since then, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna say it like, oh, I'm his biggest fan. No, not at all, dude. I haven't not kept up, but it was just sad, and whenever somebody passes away, especially like that, he was young. I think he was in his mid-30s,
probably, I think,
or early 30s. You know, so it's really sad. I mean, I just wanted to say, you know, rest in peace, Monty. I hope his family can find peace and all. And you know, it's tough, but he was an inspiration to me, so I wanted to bring it up. And I know that you liked some of his work too.
Yeah.
But you know, moving on.
All right, so let's now getting back. Unfortunately, or we're gonna go back to our our regular. But something I found really like intriguing. I want to know more, but there isn't anything about it. Was Ken Levine, the head of
the mind,
the head of Irrational Games when it was Irrational Games, leaked out, let slip, if they say, that he's working on a new game in an original universe. Yeah. And you were super excited. I was super excited.
Yeah, right. And Irrational Games, if you guys don't know, is they made BioShock 1 and Infinite.
Yes, and then last year they kind of Kevin kind of like took 10% of the people that were working. Yeah. Kind of started his own studio, which doesn't have a name still. Currently. But you know, now they're working on this new game, and it's they're not gonna have anything for this E3. but I'm really looking forward to whatever it is that he's gonna do, because he's definitely one of those people that like he was under 2K I think for BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
And it took him like however long it took him. I mean that he ended up not being able to completely do what he wanted either. I remember him talking about it, but you know he took a long time, and a lot of the studio's money or the publisher's money I'm assuming too, trying to make a game that you know he wanted to make.
And he still couldn't even finish it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, eventually you have to like kind of succumb to the publishing. Like, I'm sure like the game he was happy with it. Yeah. But you know, it definitely like from interviews and stuff, it's even like he wanted to do more.
Yeah. But you know what too? I imagine almost I think every game developer will feel that way. Like, you know, any work of art, you just always feel like it's not done. It's never done. Mm-hmm. You know, you always want to make it better and better. But he is one of those people who has like, who really lives in his creations, where it's like for him, you know, it meant so much more. Like
I love watching because it wasn't the same as The Last of Us because they had the actual movements. Yeah. Like I remember watching. I think it was him and Troy Baker and the girl. I forgot her name. Yeah. But they were trying to get Elizabeth's character to like get really emotional. So you know, him and Kevin and Ken and Troy were talking to each other, trying to figure out how to bring out that performance, like how to break her pretty much. It was just insane how intense they got, like, and that he was there for that, you know. Yeah, like,
that's how involved he was. Like, that's how fucking.
That was my favorite thing, that he was actually involved with like that much of it.
Yeah, actually, you guys should look that up. I'll try to link it in below if I remember. But it was a cool scene because what happened was they needed the I don't know her name, but she was a voice actress for Elizabeth
and the model.
Yeah, and like they needed her to get like emotional, and she couldn't breach that performance, and so Troy started yelling at her.
And Ken with the like help of like
you know, just Ken like keep yelling at her. And just like, are you stupid? You don't understand, like. And then she like starts crying, and she's like, "Yes, I'm so sorry," like, you know. But like it brought that emotion. Like you get like a little rush of like tears, like just real quick, because it's just such an intense moment. And that's the type of developer he is.
And story.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who's played BioShock 1...
Even The Last of Us, they have a similar kind of thing.
Like, yeah, exactly. And dude, they did a director's commentary for their game. That's how intense they are about it. But like, if you played BioShock or BioShock Infinite, you understand that these games are just works of art more than... I mean, and the thing is, they have deep game mechanics too. You know, it's not like you're doing like the Telltale or something where it's like it's just like a graphic novel,
which is still good.
It's still good, not dissing it, but yeah, they put so much thought into the entire world. Like it's a living, breathing world, and so anytime this guy Ken Levine says like we're doing a game, it's fucking news, okay? Like it's the only thing is that. I think fans are going to be expecting... Because, you know, a lot of fans are more casual and they don't keep up with this day-to-day stuff.
So they definitely don't know Irrational is
they don't know Irrational is done. Because they're like, BioShock Infinite was like Game of the Year candidate. Fucking sold millions and millions of copies. It was a massive success. And yet, Ken Levine, being the artist that he is, the tortured artist that he is, could not fucking handle that... like that pressure. Not that he couldn't handle it, but he didn't want it anymore. He didn't want
it. Like, you guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I left my mark on that.
I'm moving on. I have made my mark on Earth now. Yeah, so now his developing team is like 15 people or something.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's gonna be Timmy. Like, there's no news if he's gonna be working with someone bigger. What? It just seems like, as far as we know, it's just kind of like.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna do some sort of indie game.
Yeah, and all I know is it's a first-person perspective. Like both of those games that he made. Yeah. And I think, so it's going to be like both of those. And then it's sci-fi-ish. Yeah. So another, like, I mean, because I guess both of BioShocks, I guess that's sci-fi, right? Science fiction? Because, like... Yeah. I mean, so I'm assuming...
I guess I would... God, there's like another word. It's like science fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Almost or something, because it's like I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'll just stick with steampunk and okay. I mean, because that's just the setting, obviously. But yeah. Anyway, whatever. Like it's just
whatever. So hopefully not this E3, unfortunately, we won't be seeing anything.
Yeah.
But hopefully next year they're gonna, or maybe even in between E3s, they'll have something for us to look at least.
And just on the last note on that is like if you really are into game stories or into worlds,
atmosphere,
like atmosphere, and you haven't played BioShock, then this number one on your list, because it's a whole different. There's like a whole different level apart from it. There's no other game that reaches that level, to be honest.
Yeah, the first one especially.
Like, just honestly, like, no other game reaches the level that BioShock does. Especially, like you said, in terms of atmosphere. Like, you're just... Dude, even that game is fucking scary. It's not even supposed to be scary, but there's scarier parts there than in any fucking so-called horror game.
Dying Light.
Yeah, like any that, one of those. Dude, like Dying Light. That's a fucking joke. Dying Light.
Like, it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere just didn't feel right.
No, it didn't. And in BioShock, you just get sucked into that world.
I know I've read people's comments like they felt claustrophobic being underwater and they weren't even there.
Yeah.
Just like it was just that intense.
Like, you heard how his voice cracked. Intense.
It was intense.
Intense. Dude. But speaking of too intense too, recently EA exec. Of course, EA always saying stupid things to their fans. I think that, to me, that's kind of stupid to say.
Okay, let us know what it is.
But the EA exec said that he thinks that their games are too hard to learn. And that he thinks that their audience, that gamers will take like 2 hours to learn the most basic game.
Oh, this is their numbers? This is their numbers? 2 hours?
2 hours.
Just like a game is 20 hours when I beat it in like 5?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, dude, exactly, right? Oh, yeah, it's 50 hours of gameplay. Well, how did I beat it in 20 then? Yeah, no, dude, it's fucking whatever. Yeah, it takes me like 10 minutes to learn a game. Come on. Like,
but apparently the average person takes 2 hours to learn a basic game. Even apparently basic gameplay mechanics, like
I was playing Candy Crush, within 2 minutes, bro.
Plants vs Zombies,
done,
easy,
done. I mean, I don't know, man. Okay, 2 hours. So apparently, to him, he says it's 2 hours,
and that's too much time.
And that's too much time, and so that players don't give that much time to a game, and so that's why they don't play the game as much as they should.
Man, I wonder how RPGs are so successful.
I have no clue, bro.
Like it takes you like 5 hours to get anywhere in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, right. Like the game doesn't even start. So I guess then Destiny is the least successful game of
all time.
Wait,
and it
no, EA? What? I don't. Why would he even say that? I don't understand. But then in the same breath and sentence, he says, games are now all games are gonna have kind of like an RPG element, which is true.
Yeah, they all have. I mean, a lot of games, even fucking Call of Duty has level progression.
Yeah.
Not that it affects much, compared to like your typical RPG, but it's just like people like. I've told you many times, if a game has leveling up, I'm playing it.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, leveled up, I'm stuck.
Level up and skills, I'm set.
Yeah,
level up based on skills. I'm never stopping this game.
Yeah, no, and it's true, and there's a lot of players out there like that where it's just kind of like the main draw is just it's fun to level up and like build up your character, and he's absolutely right. Most games do kind of have a level progression to it, and games that don't have it kind of seem kind of old now. Like
it definitely that is the case where it's like everything that doesn't have level progression feels like a Mario level based game, like you know what I mean, like where stages not levels.
Yeah,
it's just that's what it feels like. It's not the case, but that's what it definitely feels like it's becoming.
Yeah, it's true. But my thing is, actually, all jokes aside though, he's kind of right.
You think so?
He is kind of right in terms of like some of these games are really fucking complicated, and like RPGs are successful, but I think he's talking about Call of Duty players. That's what he's talking about.
Probably.
And like because I separate everybody between gamers and like
Call of Duty players.
Yeah, because there's
isn't that what the Call of Duty. Isn't that what Activision? Or
yeah, he did. Yeah, it was. It was like an
like,
Activision.
They're not hardcore players. They're Call of Duty players or some shit.
Yeah, no, he was like one of because this was like months ago. One of the Activision execs said like we don't have gamers, we have Call of Duty players, and it's true. There is a large fan base of people who like don't play shit, but. Like
Call of Duty, Madden,
yeah,
like those.
They'll play sports games too, but yeah, they'll be like Call of Duty and like FIFA or something like that. But it's like you go over to their house and you'll pop in like, and they're like, whoa, the game ejects from. It's not only Call of Duty, like it accepts different discs.
I thought I bought a Call of Duty machine. I'm taking this back.
Yeah, what the fuck? I didn't want an all-in-one machine. I just like wanted the Call of Duty machine. That's why I used to joke around with. Halo 3 was just like Halo 3 was like the only game in the Xbox that never came out. But yeah, it's partly true. I just don't think it's a smart thing to say.
No, because like
you're kind of shitting on your players.
That's the thing that a lot of games need to like try to like I mean maybe I don't know how much money they make, but like your hardcore fans are always the people you should take care of.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
But then again, I can see what they mean because, like, if a game is like, if it's kind of like new, kind of different, a lot of the casuals, a major majority of the casuals won't play it.
Yeah,
that's what. Or I mean, I don't know if they won't play it, but that's what they're scared of.
Yeah,
like even BioShock Infinite kind of like toned itself down from what the other two games were.
Yeah.
To like I think Ken Levine even mentioned it to appeal to the casuals.
Yeah, to like simplify it a little bit.
Yeah, I personally didn't like the cover art because it was like, why is it Call of Duty? Like why does this look like a typical Call of Duty cover?
Like he's turned like like he's like shooting towards somewhere nowhere.
Yeah, it's just like okay, I can see that, but
yeah,
I definitely these people do have to somewhat cater to them, but they can't focus their game around them.
Yeah, I think in the long run it's just a bad decision to do that, but I don't know. It's just like it makes sense. The idea that you should cater to the casual gamers.
Cater to them. Sense. Just don't make your game for them.
Yeah, and
because eventually those casual people might become hardcore gamers. Yeah. They might get really into your game. Yeah. And if you're catering to the casuals, your game is gonna be done in like 2 minutes. Like similar, like a game like Destiny. Like a lot of people like it, but they're really trying to make it for the casual people.
Yeah.
So a lot of their hardcore people are like, okay, so what about us?
And your hardcore people are the ones who are going to buy your DLCs. They're going to keep playing your game. They're going to buy skins. And, they're going to buy part 2. That's the main thing, too, is, like, the franchises. Mm-hmm. And so...
if you're a one-off game, do whatever you want.
Yeah, like, dude, I bought Call of Duty Ghosts. And the game, like, the worst, like, top 10 worst games ever fucking created.
But did you buy Advanced Warfare?
Yeah, I did, too. I bought Advanced Warfare. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's going to get better this year. But... And that's my whole point is kind of like... That's why there's so many franchises now. I think there's more franchises running franchises now. I feel like in 1997 we're seeing new IPs all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong. It just might be like nostalgic thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, like from this generation, I can't call like Kratos, Master Chief.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of like other characters that are from like our generation now. I can't think of any like this established, this generation.
Yeah, this new generation, there's like no new characters in the past. Like the newest. Dude, the newest franchise that's come out that stuck to me, I think, is Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Oh,
Assassin's Creed.
I guess but like I'm trying to just think of characters that like kind of like live off because even Assassin's Creed has different characters.
Yeah.
Like like I'm trying to think like Kratos, he's throughout the game, something like that. Like. We have Sonic, Mega Man, Mario, Zelda. We have all these fucking games from a long time ago, but now it's just like, who do we have?
Yeah, they just keep remaking these. I mean, not that I'm complaining. Mm-hmm. I love Assassin's Creed. I love Halo. Keep making Halo. Don't stop making Halo. I'm not saying that.
But they're scared of making like these.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like new IPs aren't made all the time because
because I'm sure there's a million indie games. And smaller games that have
and that's a whole other industry. Yeah, that's true.
We're trying to talk about like I guess major AAA franchises.
Yeah, and
do we count Maddens? Like,
fuck Madden.
Do we count games like that?
That's like a whole other industry too, like the fucking sports genres. But yeah, like in the early 2000s, I feel like they were experimenting with a lot of new franchises. And
when did Crash come out?
99, 98, 99.
He was already kind of like, okay.
Yeah, he crashed and burned too.
Yeah, he crashed and burned, but like,
yeah.
I'm just trying to think of, there were so many good, like Rayman, even though he's still around.
But it's just nowhere. Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, I guess, was kind of like in the 2000s.
Early 2000.
Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
Or it's stuff like, I mean, and we're missing a lot of that now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Hitman, Max Payne, Prince of Persia, like all early 2000s, they were just like throwing out new IPs.
And some of those games were amazing.
Yeah, they're really good, and people remember them. And those franchises are staples, and so people are gonna buy the game just because it's a Jack game, just because it's a Ratchet and Clank, just because it's a God of War, and so like because they want to cater to the casual fan, because I don't want to buy something that I don't understand. I already know how to play God of War.
Yeah.
They might add a new fucking special, but it's gonna be the same fucking game, which is, I think, why Call of Duty is a massive success, because it's just an easy to play engine that anybody can play, and no matter, although Advanced Warfare is kind of different, it still feels it always feels like Call of Duty,
I don't know. I was playing a game where everyone was jumping, like no one was taking any of those, like the typical routes. Everyone was in the air 24/7.
Okay, Advanced Warfare might be a little different. You're right.
I mean, it just changes up how you play, but yeah. I mean, I can definitely see. I mean, it's still your typical arena shooter.
Yeah, or Twitch shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, not arena.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Talking about Halo.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I was thinking about, because we were comparing Battlefield to arena shooters, so I had that in my mind.
And so I mean, this guy actually is kind of right. I just don't think you should say that. You're kind of saying like your players are dumb, like just like, oh, it's too hard for them to play. Like we need to dumb it down. Yeah. I feel like like, how every time, don't you feel insulted every time when Japanese people are like, American,
that's easy on ours.
Yeah, like American gamers are so dumb. We need to dumb down these games, like, so Americans can understand.
I forgot what games, but there's a bunch of games where normal for us is like easy in Japan or something. It's just like, oh, okay.
All right, guys. I guess you guys are fucking...
One of my, I guess my favorite example of that is something like, I don't know if you've seen it, but Eagle Raptor did a sequelitis on Mega Man, and how that game doesn't tell you anything, but it teaches you through the gameplay. And it was really good, like, because he was right how the game kind of like, it wasn't like, Mega Man isn't an inherently hard game, but sometimes you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, like, if this is the first time you've ever played, like, a game like that, you're like,
what the fuck? Like, what am I doing?
Granted, it was probably easier for them than it is now with all the 3D fucking environments and shit. Yeah. like they can't. It's not so easy to teach someone without like hand holding them a lot of times.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I hate about games now is the hand holding and the fucking tutorials in every fucking game. Like I played Assassin's Creed already. I don't need a fucking tutorial every single game. Like,
that is true, but then again, some people don't play it from the very beginning, so they're catering to those people.
Yeah,
because if you just jumped in on 4 and you've never played, you're like, what the fuck do I do? I imagine it didn't have a tutorial. You're just like, okay,
what?
Where are the buttons?
I mean, give me a tutorial on the boat, okay, but don't give me a tutorial how to fucking climb that.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying though. At least, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like they're catering toward the casual. Whereas a hardcore fan just gets pissed at a set.
They should have definitely like a lot of skips, like let you skip.
Exactly, like skip the tutorial. Why don't they do that, dude? Gears of War did that.
One of my things that I think the thing I don't like is that they include the tutorial as the story.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily like that. I can understand why they do it, but I kind of prefer it to be its own thing so people can learn how to play.
Well, I like it when it's a new IP.
Okay,
I get it there. Some do it better than others, but if it's Assassin's Creed or God of War, it's just like, just stop. Like, it's not part, like, he knows how to fight already. Like, he's an assassin.
Something's like, maybe for the sequels in the franchise, just have like its own tutorial level away from the story.
Yeah, exactly. And because multiplayer games do them the best. Well, a lot of them don't even have tutorials, but something like Titanfall, I remember, had like a little if you want to do a tutorial. It's a brand new IP. We never played Titanfall before, and it was just like, here's
Call of Duty, man.
Yeah. Shut up, guys, you fucking trolls. Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, here's how you jump, blah blah blah, like that, dude. And I can skip it if I want.
I like Smash Brothers fucking tutorial. There isn't any.
There isn't any.
Just the beginning screen, like, oh, this is how you hit. Press the A button, and then you just learn yourself.
Yeah,
like,
and then you get beat over and over and over again.
But then you pick up the things. Like, that's the thing. Like I mean, like, I can understand that it takes a while, but that's like some of the best parts of like learning in a game.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's a multiplayer game where you're playing against people.
Yeah.
Like, picking up these things yourself.
Yeah, you feel fucking smart.
Or even having to go outside of it and look it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's a certain satisfaction in that, but that's a hardcore.
That is true.
You know, just one example that I remember is I think it's called Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It was kind of like the new Mortal Kombat that changed it around, where you had like 3 different fighting styles.
Oh, similar to what X is doing.
Is that what they're doing?
I don't know if they have it. Like, I don't know. I never played Deadly Alliance, but they do have, each character now has like 3 different.
Okay, yeah. So it is like Deadly Alliance. I didn't even know that. God, I hadn't seen that. Yeah, it had 3 different fighting styles. Long story short, they had like the combo list like every fighting game does. And like, but you know, you have to press pause and look yourself. It's not like they give you a tutorial and then you just gotta fucking do it. And I remember they had the longest combo. I always wanted to learn the longest combo because you would go through all 3 fighting styles, you know?
Oh, so you can change fighting styles within the
within the combo.
I don't know if you can do that in the new one, but
okay, but that was really cool. But then the whole thing was like I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and then I memorized it. And you know, you figure like it's on the move list, so that's the only combo that you can do. But then like I started fucking with it, and then like I figured out my own combo that was not on the list. It's not on the list, and I was like, I thought that I had like broken the game or something. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I told my brother, we're like, oh shit, this is a sick ass combo.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the best things about fighting games too. Like, cause like they tell you what to do, but it's your opinion. It's your job to figure out how to use it.
Yeah, how to manipulate everything.
Yeah, because like even Street Fighter, there's not combos written down for you.
Yeah,
they have the move list.
Yeah,
and then from there you see people doing really like, what the fuck?
Well, you know, and that's how Street Fighter and like Smash Brothers, I think, are worlds better as far as like competitively, because they don't have combos. They're just kind of like, it's up to your creativity.
Yeah, like they have like yeah, exactly.
Whereas like Tekken is the complete opposite. They have like a moves list that goes from like fucking.
Oh really?
Yeah, they have like 60 some move lists. I'm sure you could probably do your own shit there, but
that's for the hardcore people, because I know hardcore people will find like whichever one of those combos, they find a point in the combo where they can start a different combo because the frame data is like just perfect. Yeah. So that this frame will hit up when this frame ends.
See, but yeah, that's to me, that's a cool. That's like, well, you guys need to know fucking Smash Brothers, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. That's like Mewtwo King to me. Shit, that's like a computer, you know, inputting information and coming out like, it's like, not that it's not creative, but it's like I prefer not. I just think not that I prefer. I think it's superior. I think Smash Brothers and like Street Fighter are superior to a game that like just gives you a long ass combo list. And you know, it's something with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's kind of like everybody does the same shit. It's just a matter of the timing. You know, whereas Street Fighter and like Smash Brothers is more like
the precision.
Like you can just invent shit, and it's like, what the fuck? Like you just do something crazy. You know. I don't know how we got here. Like
you're talking about games, how they're so hard. I mean, and it's true. But like, that's the thing I think it needs, because I don't want everyone being able to do the exact same thing. Yeah,
because then it's just like input, or you know what's gonna happen. It's just I mean, it's still skillful because of the timing,
right?
But it's not the same, you know, not at all.
Yeah.
All right, so last thing this week is we're going back to Nintendo,
of course.
Because Nintendo, I still love you, baby.
We're talking shit. We're just throwing that trash at them.
Fuck this shit. Well, actually, there's a couple of things, but it's more. It has to do with Netflix and Zelda. Possible.
So is he gonna talk?
In the work? Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's the type of stuff. Well, that's what we need to talk about. What's gonna happen in the Zelda show? But first, let's talk about
Netflix.
Tell us what's gonna happen. What have you heard?
They've had a lot of like I mean, Netflix and just stuff like this in general that doesn't have a set format yet. Like Zelda doesn't have a TV show. I mean, they have a TV show, cartoon.
Yeah.
But like they don't have anything like Marvel's teaming up with Netflix. I know I saw the recent Daredevil, and they're also working on I think Iron Fist and Luke Cage. I don't know if they're gonna be what the show is, but those are two characters they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome to see these stuff coming to like live action.
Mm-hmm. And in this format too, not in a TV. It's a TV show we would call it, but
even a lot of these things like they'd never see live action. We always see cartoon, which isn't bad. I love cartoons.
Yeah.
Teen Titans had cartoons. Yeah. Now they're having also a TV show on TNT.
On TNT, yeah, live action. The exciting thing for me about this is just obviously Zelda. I want to see. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the other part of it is just kind of like this whole web series revolution where it's like you don't need a major TV network to make these things happen.
Red
so
versus
now,
Blue, kind of, I guess.
Huh?
Red versus Blue. Stuff
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
The Guild. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No.
Yeah, I love that. I love these like little just internet kind of like high quality.
Exactly, low budget, high quality
stuff.
And it just, I think it's just. Something like Zelda and Daredevil too, but more like Zelda, I think, just kind of opens a whole new avenue where people start realizing, like, wow, we can really...
Yeah, I mean... It's going to be good to see some high quality, high budget stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, for the stuff that you would only see low budget.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you feel, though, about, like, I think high budget ruins a lot of things, too.
It does. It definitely does.
I think it creates laziness. I feel like the maybe mid-budget, let's say, like,
because you're right. Because like I can see like high budget, they just feel like, oh, we have all the money. It doesn't matter.
Computer generate everything.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't matter what we do. It's money.
Yeah.
Whereas low budget, like they have to work on other stuff to kind of make up for not having. They have to work harder to make up for not having that money.
You know, we were talking about earlier, a little side tangent to this, but related is Angry Joe, where. It's like his stuff is so campy on purpose, and it just like it seems so low budget but done in such a high quality way where it's like it's very, very enjoyable, you know. And Angry Joe's an internet YouTuber, and
they know who he is.
Okay, you guys know who Angry Joe is. I love Angry Joe, but to me that's like. He uses his he has to figure out how he can do these things. It really
sets him apart from other regular reviewers.
Yeah.
Another reviewer I like is Zero Punctuation. His is animated, but it's also kind of like this low budget, high quality stuff.
Yeah,
which is really good.
And that was kind of the whole this whole kind of movement to me started with in the late '90s. I always think of South Park because it's just kind of like little, you know, like the animation is so crude.
And now they're the biggest people on the planet.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the beginning of the internet age. Things started changing, and it was just, dude, like, yeah, you need the creativity. That's what matters. And when you have a low budget, it kind of pushes you to be creative because you have to.
Who's gonna watch your stuff if you're not?
Yeah,
you know.
Like if you ever watched the making of Star Wars, the originals, like you see, like they had so many problems in the original Star Wars in Episode 4. Like it was a disaster. Like fucking the actors thought it was gonna be a failure. They thought George Lucas didn't know what he was doing. Everything just completely fell apart for him. Everybody thought it was gonna be a massive failure. And he was over budget, over time. They had to cut everything. And somehow he made it work though, because he had to make it work because he didn't have the money to. So like he had to like create his own fucking studio, which ended up becoming not LucasArts, but who does the special effects? I can't. There's such a known name. They do. I can't think of it right now. But anyways, he created them. He created like all his THX sound effects. Like he did all these things because he had a low budget. Like and he had to do it.
Kevin
and then
Smith.
Exactly. Well, that's super low budget. Yeah,
so I had to sell all my belongings low budget.
I know, right? My whole fucking life, I pawned it off just so I can make this one movie. But then with the new Star Wars, he had infinite he had a blank check. It was just like,
here, make us money.
yeah, like just whatever, however much you need, you'll make the money. And then I don't know, I didn't enjoy.
They weren't the same.
They weren't the same. I think
the new generation, like, people liked it. Like, a lot of the smaller kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the people who had like never seen the original Star Wars, I can see where they would love that one because they hadn't experienced the original. And then if you watch the originals after you watch the new ones, then I imagine you probably be like, these look so old and outdated. But I think for anybody who watched the originals first and then watched the new ones, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what happened here? Like, but yeah, the low budget thing is a thing. Like,
yeah.
So with Zelda, what do you think they're gonna do? Like, is he gonna talk? Can he? Link has never had a voice.
If it's like even in the cartoon, he talked, you know.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to make him talk.
Excuse me. What is it?
I forget. Yeah,
princess, excuse me, princess, or some shit.
Yeah. So he's gonna talk. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if they're trying to make it like dark because it seems like everything they bring up to live action turns dark for some reason. You know. Which I could see it being dark. It's dark.
And I don't know how other people feel about it, but I always prefer dark.
Which it is fine, yeah. But I mean, it's just sometimes they do it too much. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it loses the soul of
like Superman, the Man of Steel.
Okay, bro, touche. Okay, you checkmate. You,
you know, just like okay.
No, you won.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Man of Steel, dude, perfect example. Yeah. You just blew my brains away. I do prefer dark, but if you
sometimes it doesn't work.
Sometimes it doesn't work because Man of Steel, you just like Superman's supposed to be kind of this campy, you know, Boy Scout guy, not supposed to be some brooding fucking.
Which I guess I guess it's his origin, I guess, so maybe he was, but I don't know. I sometimes it's like they don't know when to stop with the dark and gritty.
Yeah, because Superman to me is supposed to be like the infinite. I guess the infinite, eternal. I'll say eternal optimist. Like he always will see how he can get out of a situation, how he can make it better. And this one,
like Injustice, like they had to make a whole new universe to make Superman look bad.
Yeah,
but still have
have the fucking good Superman. Yeah, and it just didn't. Man of Steel to me didn't work. It was. Of course, the action was great. Of course, it was. They had $500 million in the movie. Like, it better have good action for that amount of money. But it didn't work for me personally. You didn't like it either. I'm taking.
I mean, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't what I was looking for.
I mean, it's a good theater watch. Yeah. I know some people are like, "What? Superman, Man of Steel is the greatest," and I'm still gonna go watch Batman. I guaranteed, like Batman versus Superman.
Watch that.
Shut up. You're there.
Because as much as I love DC, I've never been a huge fan of Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Like I mean I love their universe. I just never been a fan of those two characters. And then if they're gonna go the same kind of route that they went with, like I guess it's like the Christopher Nolan effect. Like it just seems like from the stills I've seen, it just looks like that's the color they're going with.
Yeah.
I'm just like okay. And it's Ben Affleck. I don't know, something about him. I've just never liked him as in those.
He's watching it, guys. He's gonna watch it. Midnight release.
No.
In theaters, first person in line. Like
no, I'm spending all my money on Marvel this year.
You're boycotting? Oh, okay.
Marvel's all my money's all going to Marvel this year.
Fuck DC with their no jokes.
No jokes.
Yeah,
I need my jokes. I need my Tony Stark.
Dude, that looks good too. And that still kept his humor, which what made it good. Yeah, I think they need to make Link talk. Link needs to talk. They all need to talk. I mean, the game is mute. Like.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, now that was the worst thing because Hyrule Warriors is not a Zelda game technically. It's more of a Dynasty Warriors game, but still, like they had a story, and it just felt so archaic. It felt so old, like having to read just text boxes.
Like even if you're gonna have Navi talk for Link, at least have voice. I want to hear Ganon's booming voice. You know? Like it would have been awesome.
I think at this point it's almost like Master Chief's face too, or it's just kind of like. You just can't show it now, or you can't I don't know. Any voice they pick for Link is just gonna be wrong. So, no, there's gonna be. I guess no matter what you do, there's gonna be wrong. There's gonna be critics, but I think no matter what voice you choose, people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is terrible. They ruined Link. Link is not the same anymore." Like, but I don't know. You kind of get a sense. You feel like you know what he would sound like just off the the little grunts and
But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the show. I mean, I'm hoping all the shows are gonna be good because I mean, Netflix, the original shows have been pretty damn good. I don't know if you see, there's a show called BoJack Horseman, which is a animated. Love that show. You know, they brought Arrested Development back. They've had a few other shows I haven't had a chance. I just haven't. They didn't look interesting to me, but I've heard really good things about.
You know, I'm surprised just because I don't know. I just don't like Netflix in general. Like, I always thought they had garbage like movies on there. But like you said, sometimes it was also kind of like funny because they had really terrible stuff. Sometimes they do it. It seems like they're doing it on purpose, just like these movies that. Yeah, well, I guess this would be different anyway because they're actually developing this. It's not like they're getting somebody else's garbage movie to put on there. But I just never saw the draw of Netflix because it didn't have good. What it did have good stuff was documentaries. That's what it really. And I think that
this is where it's trying to kind of like push itself more because it didn't have original content.
Yeah, now
all it had was stuff to pull out. Like it had to come kind of like make deals with people to put their stuff on there.
I wonder how there's an interesting thing is how they're gonna handle like distribution, as far as like I know obviously nobody can watch it on YouTube. They're gonna shut everybody down.
Well, yeah, the one thing I don't know that I really like, but I'm kind of like it's kind of like just new to me. Their original shows, the whole season is up on day one.
Oh,
if I'm
really?
not mistaken, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, because I think, for example, for Daredevil, it's going to have all 10 episodes on whenever it comes out. Which, that's the mentality of Netflix, all in one day kind of thing, like binge watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's how I believe that's how their stuff is.
Okay, we're talking about this, okay? Because I'm a big binge watcher. I hate waiting week to week. But I also see the great benefit of having because they've been because I feel like people are just gonna forget about the show. Like the whole thing is to create buzz. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen next week? Damn, I wonder how that's. Oh, but you don't know this for sure.
Well, because from the original stuff that I've seen, it's all out when it comes out.
So even like Arrested Development, all episodes were out.
All the new ones that they had, yes.
That's crazy, dude. That's
I'm now I'm contradicting my head. Like, it's that thing when someone asks you, like, did you lock the house? Like,
yes, I locked the house.
God damn it, I'll be back.
Did I lock the house?
But I'm pretty sure the stuff is out. Boom.
Wow, I think I don't know. I'm guessing that it's worked. Like, if they keep doing it.
Yeah. And they have quite a few. They have House of Cards, Lilyhammer. It's BoJack. They had Arrested Development. They've had other shows. I don't know the names, but they've had other original stuff like that.
Damn, that must work then. that's crazy to me.
Right? It's just so unnatural to me. Like because I'm from the generation where I got home from school at 3 to watch the next episode of the show from the day before. And had to wait the weekend to watch the.
I know. God damn it, Dragon Ball Z.
Fucking 20 episodes for one fight.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, dude.
3 o'clock, 3:30, Channel 9. All right, interesting stuff, guys. We'll see. We'll keep you guys updated on Zelda. Hopefully, there's nothing said. They were just in talks. But for Nintendo to be in talks about something, it's pretty serious.
I think it was crazy when Marvel and Disney were in talks. You know? It was like, what? No, that's not happening. And now we have a Daredevil trailer. Yeah, which looks great.
And it went through. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week on the Nerds with Glasses podcast. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, like us on Facebook.
Please.
All the links are below. We really appreciate it, and we'll be back to regular schedule next week. We just skipped 1 week just because we were really busy last weekend, but we'll be going every Monday. We'll be posting the podcast. And unless
we have another day in the life,
which
we might be doing,
or something. So we'll see. All right, guys, peace.